Okay, so now we understand what they want. What do you do? Well, step 2, what are your relevant skills? And I like to think of people's skills not so much from the skills. I don't want you to get a list of skills and tick them off. What I want you to do is go through your experiences and think about them one by one and say, what skills did I use or develop in that job? So if you had a summer job there, you worked in hospitality at a hotel or you worked at a camp, great. Let's get that customer service or client service, communication skill. If you worked in some post-secondary institution doing some analysis or research, let's get all of those skills, but let's get them experience by experience, okay? And that's what I think is the most important thing, is to go by your experience and not try and get the list of skills, right? There are lists of skills. You can find them on the internet. There's tons of them. If you do a Google search on resume skills, you're going to find a million lists. And you can use that as a background, but don't just go through the list, say, do I have it or do I not have it? Say, in that part-time job that I had, 2011/2012, what skills did I get from that? And then use the lists like I have here. This is just one of the lists that we use sometimes. And I like this because it's in sections, but go through job by job or volunteer experience by volunteer experience and say, did I communicate in a tactful and courteous manner? Did I interact with parents or with customers? Did I lead a group or facilitate that workshop? Did I organize something? Did I monitor or measure or test that piece of software? So then you can use these lists in a way that makes sense as opposed to just trying to grab at those skills. So naming your relevant skills is step 2. Step 3 is then making the connection. So the employer says, like Coast, I want excellent communication skills. You think from that customer service job that you had at Tim Hortons or wherever you had it, did you explain or influence people to, buy that different product or buy that other service? And then the relevant bullet point, and this is where it counts. These bullet points that you write in your resume underneath each one of your experiences, this is the stuff that counts. This is the content. This is what employers make their decisions on. Probably your most recent or your most recent 2 positions. So let's look at this bullet point. Communicated. It starts with a verb. Past tense if it's something that happened in the past. Present tense if you still have that job at Tim Hortons. It might say communicate in a friendly manner. But if it's past tense, it's done. Communicated in a friendly manner. Well, there's your personality coming through. Or it might say professional manner or courteous. With 100 plus customers per week. Explained services. There's another one of your skills. Influenced upgrade decisions, 15% over average. 2 things I want you to see here. First of all, numbers. Numbers are really important. Employers say that they love having numbers in resumes. So what if you don't remember how many customers or how many people you dealt with? Estimate, but lowball. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you work 5 days a week and, on average you spoke to, let's say, 25 customers a day, 5 days a week, right? So that's 125 people, but you're not sure not every week was 125. Lowball it. You do not want to get caught in an interview trying to explain yourself, and they say, tell me about those 125, and you can't really explain yourself. So you better lowball it so that you can prove in an interview that you actually did it, because any number on your resume is definitely an opportunity for an interviewer to ask you questions. So those numbers better come from somewhere. Do not overstate things. Do not lie on your resume. But do put numbers in. 100 plus means that it's great, like you spoke to 100 people. You know stuff. And look at this, 15% above average, so that you have some results here. So this is a more full bullet point. This is a bullet point that counts. It's much better than just these 3 or 4 words that I often see that people put that barely say anything. So this is now customizing what you did, but in the language of the employer. You're trying to respond to the employer and say, hey, employer, you want excellent communication skills. Look at me. I communicated, I explained, I influenced it, and I did it with a whole bunch of people. if you understand what I'm talking about right here, then you pretty much have everything you need to put a great resume together. This is the most important thing, and honestly, the formatting is window dressing, right? This is where the rubber hits the road. This is what's really important. So I want you to keep your eye on that, because it's really key to getting a really great resume. So I'd encourage you to try this 3 columns exercise. Make a Word document or a table, or do it on paper or whatever. Look at a few postings, list all the employer's needs that you saw from the posting, figure out what your skills are from that other exercise that we did, and start to draw up a couple of relevant bullet points. You'll be amazed at what you can put together here. Okay, so we've identified the relevant skills. We've got the fit that you've got here. Now let's talk about formatting.